What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Franz Wagner on the Orlando Magic. That man has stepped up massively the past month of this season. Their season looked completely doomed back on October 30th when it was announced that Paolo Banchero had torn his oblique. And it's like, wow, that's one of the best young players in the world. What are they going to do? The sky is falling. They lose the first 4 games without him. But since then, they're 9-1. And it's really been a lot of Franz Wagner being the first option and dominating in that role. Because when Paolo went down, he's the second best player on the team. He's the guy that you look to, hey, save us. Help us figure this out. What do we do? And admittedly, took him a few games to kind of get into it. But since then, he's been dominating. In the month of November, because he's played the whole month without Paolo, he's averaging 25, 6, and 6. Which is I think 7 points higher than he averaged last season, 2 or 3 assists higher than last season. He's been doing it all, right? And he's shooting about 46% from the field, which isn't insane, but it's definitely manageable. Hitting about 2 threes a game, I think at a 34-35% clip. I would like to see that go to a 37%, get to there and be a little bit better, at least stats wise. And then the other thing is he's doing it as a two-way. He plays both ends. He's a very good defender. Averages 2 steals a game down this stretch. And steals do not tell the whole story, but he's been good in help defense. He's been good rebounding. He's been good on the block. He's checked every box as a two-way player, and he's doing a great job putting the ball in the basket while also creating for others. That's a big role to step into as to, hey, you're the guy now. On a switch like that. That's hard to do. A lot of guys would be very inefficient in this, but he's been putting on a show. Matter of fact, in the 14 games that they've had to play without Paolo, 8 of them he has over 27 points. 27 or more points in those 8 games. There's a couple games with 17, 18 points, but then you have a couple in the mid-20s, and there's been some high 30 balls. There's been, I think, 4 or 5 30 balls, and that's why they're 9-1. Without their best player on the team. Sure, you go, or at least 9-1 in the last 10 games, because they did start 0-4. But in reality, if you were to say, hey, you're going to lose your best player and you're going to go 9-5 over the next 14 games, every team in the entire NBA is saying, we'll take it. And I think, especially for a Magic team that admittedly I think lacks a little bit of firepower, and especially when you take their best player and Paolo off the floor, that could have been that could have destroyed their season, because they could have gone, I think Paolo's expected to be back right around Christmas. That's essentially almost 2 months without your best player. And, that's 20, 30 games probably. If you go 10-20 in that stretch, your season is in jeopardy. But they haven't, in large part because of Franz Wagner. And I just think this stuff is really cool to see, because he's been in Paolo's shadow the last couple of years, and he looked really promising, and he's played well in big moments, and he's done a good job. But we're I felt like there's something more. There's something more that you can do. We just haven't seen it yet. And now we're okay, yeah, this is what I was looking for. What I really want to see is him keep this up. This is a 14-game sample size, which is pretty solid. 25, 6, and 6. Keep this up. But keep this up when Paolo returns. Be that they could very easily be the Jason Tatum and the Jaylen Brown of the Celtics, but on the Magic. Now, they don't play it at all similar, but in terms of two-way forwards that can create for others, can knock down big shots, can post up, can score from everywhere, that's what they could do. I just want to see Franz do this when Paolo's playing. Sure, 18, 19 points a game is cool. And it's important. But if you can be, 22, 23 points a game, knocking down a couple of threes, also creating for others a lot, and being that second option that is also looking for the third and fourth and fifth guys and keeping everybody in flow, that helps in offense a crazy amount. Because we know the Magic are going to be amazing on defense. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league yet again. That's a lot of Jamal Mosley's just identity with this team. And Franz is a big part of that, which I think he doesn't get a lot of credit for, because there's not too many forwards that can defend like him. or at least defend like him and also give you 25 on the other end. That's not super normal. As a matter of fact, I think it's abnormal because you don't see too many guys do this. And I just looked at it. He was averaging 3.7 assists last year. In the stretch without Paolo, he's averaging 6. So to piggyback off of, is he creating for others? He's doing a damn good job at it. And I think he's doing that while scoring more, scoring just as efficiently. And he's doing just an excellent job. And when this is exactly what you would pray for when you lose your top guy, for your second guy to come in and do something like this. And I think Franz has been kind of waiting a little bit to be able to showcase this to a degree. And I think it's dope because I think he's playing so good. And they definitely do not go 9-1 in their last 10 games and be one of the hottest teams in basketball without Franz Wagner. That's just the nature of it. And when Paolo does get back, they're going to have a two-headed monster. I hope that they can both play at these levels because Paolo was playing at a crazy level before injury, and Franz is playing at a crazy level post-injury. So if we can just get this kind of going at the same time, that's a really dangerous team. And this is something that they missed in the playoffs last year, was just a second option that could light it up a little bit more. Franz, they needed him to take this step. So if he can do this at the bigger moments in the season with Paolo active, and this team will be super, super hard to beat. They already were in the first place, but they could push somebody to the absolute brink and be one of those teams that nobody wants to see. And a lot of it has to do with how good can Franz be later in the season. Because if he does what he's doing right now, they're going to be amazing. 25, 6, and 6. Even if you got to take a tick down a little bit when Paolo gets back, this is what the Magic need. So keep it up. I hope he keeps it up. But shout out to Franz because he's absolutely been amazing in this 14-game stretch without Paolo in the lineup. And it hasn't kept them afloat. It's kept them going forward. It's kept the ship just going in the right direction. And that was exactly what was needed for the Magic. So a lot of credit to Franz. A lot of credit to other guys too. This team is very well built. They're not the most explosive team in the league, but they know how they're going to beat you. They play a certain way, and Franz kind of embodies that at the same time. So big credits to him for stepping up in Paolo's absence and going to have to keep doing it. But he's shown me, especially the last 10 games or so, that he can do this. He can do this at an elite level, and he's evolved himself into an elite player. But anyway, let me know if you agree in the comments how you're feeling about Franz on his, this breakout surge of a season that he's having. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like this kind of content, please like the video. Really, really appreciate y'all. Shout out to Franz. Shout out to the Magic for keeping it going. Their season could have been doomed, but it looks bright as ever right now. So I'm excited for it. But thanks for watching. I'm done. Peace.